Ms. Legalista here. Thank you for joining. We are going to be talking about H&R Block only because most people have to do taxes, but this really isn't about taxes. What I'm going to be sharing with you from the Federal Trade Commission in regards to H&R Block could be applied to almost any type of program or software or subscription service or product that you purchase if it's set up this way. The details on what's in some of these contracts when you hit, oh, yes, buy, and yes, I can change it later or downgrade or upgrade or add people. Well, a lot of times we think we're getting one thing and it turns out we're not. We're not getting what we think we're getting. And then even if we are, sometimes they make us jump through hoops, make us jump through hoops. Well, let me go ahead and bring this up and stop talking about it. Like I said before, this could apply to a lot of other products or services that are out there. And so I'm really going to go through this. Now, this is 19 pages. So, hey, let's be committed for a little while so that we can get a little bit more informed about what went on. But I'll go ahead and tell you a lot of it is pictures. There are a lot of pictures in here because the FTC, Federal Trade Commission, is trying to get its point across in saying, hey, this is what H&R Block told you. This is what they told you, and we're going to show it to you. So they have all of these graphics here. All right. So again, before the Federal Trade Commission, one of your U.S. government agencies, all right, H&R Block, HRB Digital LLC, and HRB Tax Group are some of the entities that H&R Block falls under. So, yes, you see all of this here where they're located, not really going to get into that part. I want to go ahead and jump right into the summary of the case, get into the background, and start to talk about exactly what happened here and why the Federal Trade Commission is Big Brother mad at them. H&R Block advertises, markets, distributes, and sells commonly used tax preparation products and services that enable users to prepare and file their income tax returns online. We're talking millions of people here every single year. H&R Block has designed its online tax preparation products, we're going to call those online products, to unfairly, okay, encumber consumers attempting to move from a more expensive online product to a less expensive or free product or downgrade. First, H&R Block has an unfair customer service contact requirement that does not permit consumers to downgrade without first contacting H&R Block's customer service department either by phone or online chat to request and complete the downgrade. Now, think about that for a second. And I've talked about this a little bit when I talked about Amazon, right? This sort of, oh, it's easy to click here and sign up for these services, these subscription plans, but to try to get out of one, they make you jump through hoops to get out of it. All right. So this is what they're talking about. And this is why I say that this is not just about H&R Block. This is about a process that is put in place by a lot of companies out there. So keep your eyes and ears open. Second, H&R Block unfairly employs data wiping, meaning that H&R Block deletes all information the consumer has entered to that point for their tax return after the consumer chooses to downgrade. These two distinct unfair practices, collectively H&R Block's downgrade policies, coerce consumers into purchasing more expensive online products than they would have otherwise preferred. H&R Block's unfair downgrade policies stand in stark contrast to its upgrade policy, right? Which is completed at the push of a button and automatically transfers all the customer's information into the more expensive online product to which the consumer has upgraded without the need to contact customer service. Now, one of the other things that I want to point out in here, like I said, this is 19 pages. There's a whole lot of redacted stuff in here. We're just going to see like paragraphs that have just been blacked out. Okay. So we'll see how long this video actually takes. H&R Block, okay, the whole redaction there. Nevertheless, H&R Block's customer service contact requirement forces consumers seeking to downgrade to contact customer service to request the downgrade, which often requires substantial wait times in addition to time already spent entering tax filing information. Then H&R Block's data wiping practice requires consumers to choose between sacrificing their progress and starting over to switch to a less expensive product, or paying for the unwanted and more expensive product to avoid duplicating the time and effort they have already expended to complete their tax return. Separate from H&R Block's unfair downgrade policies, we've got more. H&R Block deceptively markets its online products by representing to consumers that they can file for free using H&R Block, when in fact, many consumers have tax situations that are not covered by H&R Block's free online product. As detailed herein, H&R Block has engaged in and is engaging in unfair and deceptive business practices in the advertising, marketing, distribution, and sale of its online products. Now, let me stop here for a second because this is all pending. Okay, this is pending. This is out there. You can go to the Federal Trade Commission's website and download and read this for yourself. But most people aren't going to do that, which is why I'm here boring you to death, trying to share this information with you with the hope that you'll pick up some of it and think about this when you get ready to purchase another one of these online products or services from somebody else. All right, business activities. H&R Block's unfair downgrade policies coerce consumers into paying more than necessary for tax preparation products. It says here that it comes in multiple forms. One, assisted, these are the services, assisted in-person or virtual tax preparation by H&R Block Tax Pros. Two, tax preparation software that can be purchased in stores like Best Buy or downloaded. And three, do it yourself online tax preparation software products, the online products. Since at least 2013, now we can do simple math here. We're talking over 10 years. H&R Block has offered multiple online products during each tax season or the period of time each year during which consumers file their taxes for the prior calendar year, December 1st of the prior year through November 30th of the current year. Okay, I don't think I need to read all that. Since at least tax season 2018, H&R Block has offered free online, deluxe, premium, and self-employed versions of its online product. The main difference among the online products, other than the cost, is the number of tax forms, schedules, and tax situations supported or covered by the product. I myself use TurboTax. And yes, there are all of these different, you can get premium, home business, I don't know, simple or something like that. For example, the free online product covers the least number of tax forms and schedules, including subsections of those forms and schedules, with deluxe covering everything included in the free online plus additional forms and schedules, premium covering everything including in deluxe plus additional forms and schedules, and self-employed. You guys get it. You get it, right? H&R Block also offers an intermediate product between free online and deluxe online products that includes only those forms available in free, but also includes some of these additional non-tax forms available in deluxe, premium, and self-employed. Okay, you get the scenario here, right? You've got different levels in which with each different level, you get different kinds of access to different forms and different schedules. So you're able to go through and pick out what your needs are, right? To meet what you yourself have to have. Then there's the free part, and we're trying to figure out where that comes in. Consumers, let's see how this works. Consumers may begin preparing their tax return in any of the online products. Some consumers may begin preparing their tax return in a product that includes more forms than they need, when a less expensive product may be sufficient, while other consumers may be prompted to upgrade to a more expensive product partway through the process. If the consumer accepts an upgrade, all previously entered information is seamlessly transferred into the more expensive product. Well, of course it is. They want you to go ahead and buy that upgrade. And so they say, hey, we'll transfer all of this. Don't worry about it. Hit that upgrade button. In contrast to the seamless process to upgrade to more expensive products, H&R Block has designed its online products to make downgrading a pain point. Okay, now let's remember, doing taxes in general can be a pain point. So just imagine adding more pain on top of that. You've entered this information, now you realize you need to downgrade, and it's like you're going to have to start over. Let's see what it says here. Consumers who wish to file using a less expensive product are first required by H&R Block to spend time attempting to contact H&R Block's customer service department. Y'all, I was on the phone with a company yesterday for 30 minutes. And I bet you I spent maybe 3 of those minutes actually talking to someone. And at one point in time, I was just thinking, maybe I'll just call back later. But why would I want to start all back over with the process, right? Yes, attempting to contact. Next, because of H&R Block's use of data wiping practices, consumers must start from scratch and re-enter all of their tax information if they still wish to file using a cheaper or free H&R Block online product. These practices coerce consumers into purchasing products they otherwise would not have paid for. H&R Block's customer service contact requirement makes the mere process of inquiring about downgrades difficult. Through this unfair practice, H&R Block has made it impossible for consumers to downgrade their product on their own. Instead, H&R Block requires consumers to spend time and effort contacting H&R Block's customer service and either speak with a live customer service agent on the phone or through the online product's customer service chat option to downgrade. If H&R Block's system is able to authenticate the consumer's account, let's get past that hurdle, consumers may request the downgrade through an automated interactive voice response system over the phone. I cannot tell you how many times I have had to deal with companies where this is the practice. And instead of reporting them to the FTC, I discontinue my use of that product and go to using something else because I'm not going to be coerced into paying for a higher product when that's not really what I need. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, jump through all of these hoops, and I'm never going to use your service again. So you will lose me as a loyal customer because I see through this kind of shim sham that you're engaging in. Flim flam, shim sham, scam, misrepresentation. I don't know what to call it. Call it what you want to call it. During tax season 2014, consumers seeking to downgrade had to call customer service and then wait to be escalated to a customer service agent to complete the downgrading process. We got some redactions there. Look at this. In 2019, customer service agents were able to complete downgrades for consumers. In January 2015, H&R Block added its IVR virtual assistant as a potential downgrade method. To downgrade via the IVR virtual assistant, consumers must call H&R Block's customer service line. Who wants to do all that? And be able to authenticate their account using their telephone number. You don't have to do that for an upgrade. This is the problem, okay? There are a couple of problems here. One is you don't have to do that when you're upgrading. And number two, where is this information provided up front so that you know that before you start with them? Hey, if you get in here and you start working and you decide to upgrade, it's going to be seamless. But if you decide you want to downgrade, we're going to make it a little trickier for you. Is that being disclosed? I'm thinking the FTC is saying, no, it's not. If H&R Block is unable to authenticate the consumer's account, and how often do you think that happens? They are put on hold to speak with a live customer service agent. Okay, and you can see numerous redactions here. For example, H&R Block received the following complaint in 2015, continuing similar complaints. Yeah. During April 2022, an FTC investigator made at least 5 attempts. Okay, so now the FTC is saying, hey, we've gotten some complaints. Let's see how this works when we try it out. See, that's a problem for your company when the FTC comes in to see how this works. And okay, made at least 5 attempts to contact H&R Block customer service to downgrade an online tax product. Twice through the online chat function, and at least 3 times through phone calls. The attempted chat contacts were successful, but took approximately 20 minutes each to complete, with most of that time spent waiting for a live customer service agent to join the chat. However, the attempts to downgrade via phone calls were all unsuccessful, regardless of whether the investigator attempted to use the IVR virtual assistant or speak to a live customer service agent. H&R Block's IVR virtual assistant was unable to authenticate the account despite the investigator entering the necessary account identifying information. Y'all, I'm just getting flustered here with some of these words. Multiple times on each call. And on each attempted call, the investigator was ultimately placed on hold to wait for a live customer service agent. However, after approximately 10 to 15 minutes of waiting on hold, the calls all abruptly disconnected. I don't even know what to say there. Imagine people coming to check you out, to check your services out, to make sure everything's on par, and these things just magically disconnect with them. Imagine what they're thinking that customers must be going through. The same FTC investigator contacted H&R Block again the following year, in April 2023, to request a downgrade using the IVR virtual assistant. On this attempt, which took roughly 3 minutes, H&R Block successfully authenticated the account, which H&R Block then downgraded. How it's supposed to work, right? After the investigator logged out and back into the account, they were required to start the tax filing process from the beginning, including re-entering their personal identification information. Okay, so that's the thing that they're complaining about. If a consumer successfully reaches a virtual or live customer service agent and insist that they wish to downgrade to a less expensive online product, since at least tax season 2014, H&R Block has unfairly designed its online products to delete almost all information entered by the consumer upon downgrading their product. This data wiping practice results in consumers needing to restart their tax returns from the beginning, including re-entering income information such as W-2 information. Now think about this. You got two government agencies going on here, okay? The FTC is checking into your practices that might be making it harder for people to be able to get their tax filings into the government. Like, the government wants these filings filed, right, on time. And when you put obstacles in the way of the government, like, it's one thing to put obstacles in the way of people that impact other companies or just their day-to-day lives. But when you say, "Oh, well, we're gonna make you jump through hoops in your dealings with the IRS," I'm thinking that's probably not the way to go. That's just me. I'm thinking that this is not a look that you want to wear because it's just not going to look good. H&R Block has chosen to design the online products in such a way that consumers cannot be downgraded without erasing their entire tax return, which requires them to start the tax preparation process from the beginning. Okay, and I think these are just complaints, all these redactions about these complaints. I think I would like to read these. Look at the redactions here. Amidst all those complaints. All right. Nevertheless, H&R Block continues its data wiping practices, requiring consumers who wish to downgrade to start their tax returns over in an effort to coerce consumers into purchasing online products that are more expensive than the consumer really wants. I mean, that's really what it's about, right? We're going to make it difficult for you to downgrade because we want you to pay more money so we can make more money. That's really what it's about. Okay. H&R Block, number two, deceptively markets its free online product. Okay. So who gets free and who doesn't? And how do you know up front? Since at least 2018, H&R Block has marketed its online products through a variety of methods: video, social media, and online advertisements, including its own webpage. Some of H&R Block's advertisements promote the free online product. From at least 2018 to 2020, H&R Block video advertisements touted free online as free with no limitations, disclosures, or disclaimers. See, that's the problem right there. If you know what you're getting up front, that is entirely different. You are able to make an informed decision. But if they're telling you something's free and they don't even put the asterisks in there with the 4-point print, that you probably won't see because it's at the bottom of the page. And by the time you scroll down, you forgot that the asterisk was even up there. That's entirely different. They're saying that this was not even there. Other video advertisements purported to qualify the offer, there we go, using small font and vague statements that did not let consumers determine whether the product was free for them. For example, the following screenshots contain a tax season 2022 video advertisement on YouTube made up of 5 frames, emphasizing in large, bright green text that consumers can file for nada, zip, zilch, file for free. H&R Block, help is here. Each of the 5 frames state in small, inconspicuous gray or black font towards the bottom of the screen. Didn't I just tell you? Simple returns only when filing with H&R Block free online. And I'm lowering my voice and whispering because, yes, it was not bold. It was not out there for it to be easily seen. It was something that, wait, you got to lean into, read, and understand. And then where can you get that information to determine what that actually means? Well, it says here, simple return is not defined. Okay, let's take a look at some of these pictures here. There's the file for nada. And for me to see what it says, I'm going to need to put on my glasses. And it says simple returns only when filing with H&R Block free online. That's what's there at the bottom. This was tax season 2022. And then they had file for zip. Same thing. I'm thinking, because I don't have on my glasses, I can't tell you. Then we have file for zilch, and I'm going to squint. I think I can see. Okay, simple returns only when filing with H&R Block free online. Tiny, tiny, tiny. I'm telling you, I get it. I have clients ask me, well, can I just do this and can I just do that? And I'm just like, put it out there. Just go ahead, be really clear about it. And so that way, you don't wind up with this really bad relationship with your customer because they're like, well, you hid that from me. You should have told me that. File for free. H&R Block, help is here. All right. Look at that. We've made it halfway through. In another tax season 2022 advertisement for the free online product, this time on the H&R Block webpage, H&R Block stated, best part of doing taxes yourself, it's free. Below in small, inconspicuous black font, it states, H&R Block free online lets you file your simple returns for free. Again, simple return is not defined. Like, what is that? I mean, I'm an attorney, so sometimes I start looking at this stuff and I'm just like, okay, so what does that mean? I don't understand. During tax season 2023, H&R Block continued advertising its online products without disclosing material limitations, namely which tax situations are covered or excluded by each online product. For example, in a 15-second TV advertisement titled Football Season, a voiceover invites consumers to do their own taxes online with H&R Block. The voiceover later states, simple returns file free, a phrase that then appears in large letters on screen, as shown below, for approximately 3 seconds of the 15-second ad. In small, inconspicuous white text on a moving background, the screen reads, not all taxpayers qualify. See h&rblock.com for details. This phrase is not included in the voiceover, and the ad does not include any other information regarding any limitations of the free offer. You guys, I can hardly see that. Do you see that down here? Like I'm moving the arrow. Do you see how hard that is to see that? I mean, the contrast is really bad here because you have a lot going on here. And so, it's like this is way down here. It's very likely that you would miss that. You would miss that. And remember, what it's saying is that's not included in the voiceover. Remember when you hear those radio ads and then they'd get to the last part where they were talking about the disclaimer and they were going at like 200 miles an hour when they were saying that section? And it's like, not all taxpayers qualify. See H&R Block for details. I mean, but much faster than that. I can't even do it. I'm thinking that what they did was they recorded it to make sure it sounded good, and then they just increased the speed of it. That's the way it's got to work, right? H&R Block deceptively advertises the free online product by representing its product as free, when in fact it is not free for many consumers. The advertisements above purport to qualify the free online product offering by stating it is limited to simple returns. What constitutes a simple return, however, is not defined or explained in the advertisements and in fact changes from year to year as H&R Block alters which forms the free online product covers. So now you got to keep up with what they're doing each year. Like, who's going to do that? The problem is, you're likely, if you're a consumer every year, you're likely to think that you're getting the same thing. It's like, oh, well, let me just go ahead and get the same thing I got last time because, I've already dealt with this product before. I've purchased it, I've used it, I already know what's in it. Well, this is now saying that they change the forms that are included with the free online product. So, how would you know? Consumers are often surprised and dismayed to discover they cannot file their taxes using free online. All right, some more complaint information there. On h&rblock.com, where the football season ad directs consumers to search for more details, no definition or explanation is provided to explain the phrase simple returns. For at least tax seasons 2018 through 2023, the online product selector page, the central page advertising and comparing H&R Block's online products, did not include or display the tax forms and schedules that were included in the free product. To access material information about the forms supported by the free online product, H&R Block required consumers to navigate to the free online product's specific landing page. Even on the product specific landing page, consumers were required to locate and then click on an inconspicuous link to view the product's tech specs and supported forms. So now you got to go conduct a whole search like you're an investigator, right? Before they could access a complete list of tax forms and schedules that could be completed using the online um, free online product. So again, this difficulty with just trying to figure out which version is the one that I need to work with to get the free stuff and to find the information about what forms come with the free stuff. Like, how do I find that? Well, they just said some inconspicuous place where you got to go through some stuff to find it. In tax seasons 2018 through 2022, H&R Block's online product selector page displayed certain information about each product on a card, listing the product name, generic tax situations for which H&R Block recommends using that specific product, and the cost. Above the online product cards, the online product selector page also includes a series of tiles that a consumer could select to prompt a product recommendation from H&R Block, which H&R Block indicates by placing a black bar with white text stating recommended. Look, with a star above the recommended online product. For example, if a consumer selected a small tile that read, I'm a freelancer or contractor, or I have an HSA, the black bar above a free online product card moved to the deluxe product card, recommending the consumer should use deluxe. Well, free just went out the window, didn't it? However, consumers were not required to select any of these towels to use an online product. Rather, consumers could simply ignore the small towels and click File for Free or Start for Free on any of the online product cards below and begin filling out their tax return information. In at least tax seasons 2018 into 2023, the information for consumers to understand whether they qualified for the free online product was not included anywhere on the online product selector page. During at least those tax seasons, consumers viewing the product selector page had to click through 3 different inconspicuous links before they could access a complete list of the forms available for any of the products. I mean, who wants to spend time doing all that? We're just trying to, the whole thing is supposed to be simple. I'm supposed to just be able to go online. If I want to do free, let's click something that says, will I be able to do free? Here are the forms that are included. You shouldn't have to click through all of this stuff and then wind up finding out that you got a higher thing because you wanted to just double check and then you got a downgrade. Okay. During at least those tax seasons, to access the complete list of forms for the free online product, consumers first would have to click on the name of the individual product on the card, which is itself an inconspicuous hyperlink. Y'all, this is just too much work. It's too much work for me to even just read it. Let's just look at it and see what it says, okay? So here's what it says. We've got the free online. So if you come to this and you look at this, you probably go, oh, okay, well, I'm self-employed. That says it's $84.99 premium. I don't have any rental properties. That's 49 deluxe, but it says here free online. So does free online, what does that include? I mean, I myself am probably going to automatically look at self-employed because I'm thinking, well, why the difference? Is it still free online? It says second, consumers then had to notice and click like what. So here's compare filing options right here. And it says online product names displayed on the cards as hyperlinks. These are the cards that they're talking about here. Sorry, I scroll down. Second, consumers then had to notice and click on a link titled Tech Specs and Supported Forms located on the free online product subpage and go past the technical specifications. It's just too much. Like, what is all this stuff you have to do to just find out? So you've clicked, this is saying you've clicked on the free online now, okay? It says free online here to help you save. And then I think this is where you have to go down here to see what forms you actually get. That's the hyperlink that they're talking about. Third, consumers then had to select a link at the bottom of the pop-up titled Federal Forms. It's too much. Software requirements, hardware requirements. I mean, most people are going to have that. And yet that's what you put first, right? Federal forms and state forms. Okay. So that's the hyperlinks that they're talking about. Only after winding through, I guess this supposed to be winding, uh, the above inconspicuous hyperlinks that H&R Block finally provide consumers with a full list of federal forms and schedules covered by the free online product. So this is what you have to go through, to be able to say, hey, should I go back and click deluxe, or can I, use the free online card? Can I click that card? Well, now you've got to jump through these hyperlinks before you actually get to see the federal forms that are included to see whether or not you can do the free online. And if you had already started filling out that information only to find out later that it's not going to work because you get in there and you start looking for forms and those forms aren't there, and you now try to go back and look at this, it's like, man, I should have been the one that got the higher one, but that's okay because you can upgrade. Remember, you can upgrade with the push of a button. All right. During tax season 2023, H&R Block made a minor change to the free online product card, adding a footnote after this phrase, simple returns. Okay. So now look at this. They've added it, and it's the first thing up here. Look at that. It's at the top. So now you're like, okay, simple returns. Well, let me see what that means. Well, let's see what the FTC says. If a consumer clicks on the new footnote after the phrase simple returns, they are redirected to the bottom of the web page footnote that is initially hidden in a collapsed series of footnotes, meaning, you got to click on the thing for it to open up. Okay, I can't read this without my glasses. I'm going to scroll down here. It says yellow highlight box added to the highlight footnote 2022, attached to the phrase simple returns above and contains this hyperlink. Okay, let's see what it says. The footnote states in small white text, H&R Block free online is for simple returns only. See what you have to go through to find that out. All tax situations are different. Well, of course they are. Additional fees may apply. I'm sure they do. See available forms, underline in original. The phrase see available forms is a hyperlink, which if clicked, opens the list of forms included in the free online product. In this way, defendants require consumers to navigate to a fine print footnote and then to a separate page in order to access all of the material limitations to the free online product. H&R Block has known for many years that its failure to clearly and conspicuously disclose the material list of forms for each product makes it difficult for consumers to determine which product is right for them before starting to work on their returns. Key, before starting to work on their returns. leading consumers to complain either about bait and switch pricing or filing using an online product that is more expensive than their tax situation required. That's what I was trying to say. People will go get that more expensive one because they can't figure out the whole free thing. And so they go get this other one only to find out, well, they didn't need all that. They aren't doing, all of this investment and don't have a side hustle and all of that. They could have done the free thing, but you're making them jump through hoops. In other words, you're sending them to that direction, and people are running into issues with that and that they don't need it, and then you're making it hard for them to downgrade. Remember, that was the first complaint. All right, so here, well, we can't see those examples because they have been redacted, and then sometimes they may eventually unseal this, and it could be that it's unsealed now, but I was going with the earlier version here. H&R Block's advertisements, and we're just about done if you've managed to stick around this far. H&R Block's advertisements about its free online product bring consumers to its website to begin filing their tax returns using free online. As described above, H&R Block's product selector page similarly omits material information, the forms and schedules that are actually included with that, for consumers to determine whether they qualify for the free online product. Only after consumers are partway through preparing their tax returns does H&R Block disclose that many consumers do not qualify to use free online and must upgrade and pay. This material information is provided to consumers only after they have spent significant time and energy and input sensitive personal and financial information into H&R Block's user interface. So here's where the FTC is saying you went wrong. We're going to label out the counts there. Unfair customer service contact requirement. It says in numerous instances, respondents have coerced consumers into purchasing more expensive online products than they need or want by requiring consumers to spend time either calling or chatting with H&R Block's customer service department to downgrade an online product to a less expensive one. Respondents' customer service contact requirement for downgrades only has caused or is likely to cause substantial injury to consumers that is not outweighed by countervailing benefits to consumers or competition and is not reasonably avoided by consumers themselves. This practice is an unfair act or practice. Count 2, unfair data wiping practice. In numerous instances, respondents have coerced consumers into purchasing more expensive online products than they need or want by forcing consumers to choose between paying for an unnecessarily expensive product or losing their previously entered information and starting their tax returns over in a less expensive online product. Respondents' data wiping practice has caused or is likely to cause substantial injury to consumers that is not outweighed by countervailing benefits to consumers or competition and is not reasonably avoided by consumers themselves. This practice is an unfair act or practice. Count 3, deceptive advertisements. In numerous instances, in connection with the advertising, promotion, offering for sale or sale of online tax preparation products or services, respondents have represented directly or indirectly, expressly or by implication, that consumers can file their taxes for free using H&R Block's free online product. The price of H&R Block's online product is material to consumers in their decision to purchase the product. Like, that's the first thing I want to know. It's a two-part piece. Which product do I need and how much is it? In fact, in numerous instances, respondents do not permit consumers to file their taxes for free using H&R Block's free online product. Therefore, the representation set forth in paragraph 60 is false or misleading. So they were saying they violated Section 5 of the Federal Trade Commission Act, and you are notified that on the 23rd day of October 2024 at 10 a.m. at the Federal Trade Commission offices, the FTC will hold a hearing on the charges set forth in this complaint. At that time and place, you will have the right under the Federal Trade Commission Act to appear and show cause why an order should not be entered requiring you to cease and desist from the violations of the law charged in this complaint. Yes, you get a chance to respond. If you elect not to contest, failure to answer timely will constitute a waiver, and those are all the rules there. Yeah. So, and here are some of the things that you know, they're laying out there. That's it. That's from the secretary. You guys, that's a lot. That's a lot. But part of this really was about H&R Block, but the other piece was hopefully for me to help point out some of these practices that these companies are engaging in to make it hard for you. And these practices are unfair. They're not right. I know of other companies that are doing the very same thing. They want to lock you in to some sort of subscription, some sort of plan, some sort of service. And then when you try to get out, they're like, "Oh, well, you have to do this. You have to contact us. We have to review your account, make sure everything's up to date, and then it takes us 5 days to process it." What? Like, yes, some companies are doing that. And you know that it's all about them when they're doing that. It's not about you. It doesn't take them 5 minutes to verify your account. If you called in, you're on the phone with them right then. Go ahead and terminate it then. It's just a bad practice, and it says a lot about who's running that company and whether or not that company is really committed to the values that that company says it's committed to. So that's it. Again, yes, this is about H&R Block, but it's about so much more. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Mwah. Peace.